Society is against men with big ambitions. This is just what I think personally, and I think that a lot of you will resonate with me and will agree with me after watching this video. The reason why that is and why I think that is just because we go to school, the whole system. I'm not saying it's put down wrongly, that schools are wrong, that the society as a whole is wrong in any way. It's not, okay? But in my opinion, schools are not necessary for your own personal success as a man, okay? Like, you can become successful on your own just only because you put in work. Every time you're gonna put in some work into something, when you set a goal, you put in work into that goal, and you achieve something from it, that's when you grow, that's when you are gonna become more successful. So I think that schools by themselves and just schools overall, like, schools are made to make students, to make children something, so that they can serve this society somehow, which I think that's great, that is fine, because if we didn't have this kind of system, then there would be probably a huge chaos, okay? So I think that schools are good for this, but reason why I think that society and schools overall are against ambitious men is because if there were no schools and these ambitious men could dedicate and focus on that one particular goal that they have in mind, whether that would be saving lives in the hospitals, or if that would be playing football, if that would be playing ice hockey, if that would be anything else, okay? Might be anything, There are literally businesses all around us, okay? And so I think that the only way that you need for your own personal success is to just sit down and work. Or maybe you don't have to sit down, if you have some kind of physical activity, work or something like that, then you actually, if you're a football player, like, go play the football, okay? Stay on that playground and play as long as you can and as long as you want, so that you can become successful in it one day. That's how legends are made. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Everyone knows who that dude is. Why? Because he worked his entire life. He pushed through to become a successful football player. And so he did, and now he's known all around the world. That's a truly ambitious man right there. And if you think that school taught him how to play football, it didn't. Like, yeah, there are a few schools, and there are some schools that are maybe directed on football a little, but for the most part, he had to actually go to the playground and play the soccer. So I think that schools are toxic and in a lot of sense, because students that are learning a lot of things that they will never need in their life, in their entire life, just because they don't want to make money this way. Maybe they're studying for something, they have chosen some kind of school, but they have completely other ambitions. I mean, in my opinion, like, there are no school made for online businesses, or at least not in my country. Like, I'm living in Czechia, and there is no school that teaches anyone about online businesses, about online entrepreneurship, about making an income online. No one is teaching us this stuff. These students, I'm a student myself, I go to high school, and I'm sad for them, I'm sad for these students. I'm sad for myself being as a student, It's tough. It's not easy to be one. And I'm even sad for these teachers that are teaching in those schools. They chosen that as their career, so that's fine for them, But, like, I wouldn't like to work with kids, honestly. I have nothing against kids, but, like, I'm more of a disconnected person, I like to influence people, but not in a way that is, like, face to face, if you know what am I talking about. But that doesn't matter, I really think that society is stripping away that time and that ambition that is in young people in their teens and in their 20s to actually pursue their ambitions and their goals and their careers, I mean, if you know what you want to do already, and if you know that you can do it while studying, okay, find something that you can work on while studying. that's comfortable, that you can work on almost every day, regardless of your situation. Because that's how you win. That's how you're gonna make progress. If you find something flexible, some kind of flexible work, then you're gonna be able to finally be and say, okay, now I can do this and I can work on this career and it's flexible and I can work on this career while studying. That's the thing that you need. If you don't want to wait till the education system is gonna end and then you're gonna suddenly be like, okay, now I have nothing. Look, I'm gonna finish high school when I'm 20. So that means that if I will go to university here in Czechia, I'll finish university at 24. So if I wouldn't start anything, if I would not start anything while studying, I would be nobody when I'm 24 years old. That's not what you want, okay? Like, you want to have something going on, especially when they're 18-year-old, 17-year-old millionaires these days. It's insane. Like, the money is out there. You just need to grab yourself, grab your balls, and go hunt it, collect it. You can get it. If you believe you can get it, and if you dedicate yourself to work, you can make the money yourself. And you don't have to rely on your parents anymore. I want to encourage you young people to start doing this. Start to work, Find some work for yourself. Get a part-time job. Maybe get employed in a bank. Doesn't matter. Does not matter what you do. But you need to do something. Society wants you to be weak. The schools, the rich people are smiling and they're laughing at the schools and the whole school system, education system. Why? Because they know that these people are tired of work, they are tired of going to school all day, every day, and that they can't push through anything more. They are not willing and they're not able to make something on their own. And that's why these rich people win. My family is poor and has been poor for a while now, for generations. And the only reason why that is because no one had a business. Like, my parents are teachers. They work with kids and that's what they wanted to do, so that's fine. I'm not doubting that. I'm not saying that that's bad. No, teachers are important. If there were no teachers, there would be teenage chaos in this society. But business owners and entrepreneurs are needed in this society as well. They help people as well. Not just help people, they do a lot of work and they work a lot, so they're needed. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be, doesn't matter who you would like to be, okay? It does not matter, but you have to work, okay? Just do something. Dedicate your life to work. That's the only advice that you need to hear as a student, okay? Study hard, work hard, build your body, all of those things. So you have it figured out and you can live your 30s successfully, fulfilledly, and you can enjoy your life. Don't buy into these modern addictions that society is trying to throw at you. TV consumption, YouTube consumption, Netflix consumption, porn, excessive masturbation, drugs, alcohol. All of these bad habits will drag you down, and partying every weekend, it's not gonna get you anywhere. You will not succeed if you don't take a step back from these things. You have to take a step back and you have to focus on something that's productive for your own self. Otherwise, you're gonna suffer, and your 20s and your 30s are not gonna be that successful as someone that is actually putting in the work on a daily. And let me tell you, women by themselves can sense when you have something going on for yourself. They can sense that. Because when you accomplish something on your own, when you maybe start to build your own brand, build your own business, or build your own entrepreneurship, or work on your own entrepreneurship career, they're gonna notice, because now you are more confident. Why? Because you are accomplishing something, and by these accomplishments, you are getting a confidence boost from your accomplishments. This is how it has to be. You have to work, you have to accomplish, you have to get the confidence and get the balls and go after what you want. That's what women desire these days. A man that knows what he wants and goes after it and is not afraid to go after what he wants. But don't let society drag you down. Don't let your parents drag you down, okay? My parents were trying to drag me down into their bad habits for a long time. I refused to do that because I don't want to live absolutely sexless life, and I want to have my own house one day. That's just how it is with me. So don't let them drag you down and put you down. Work on your own self, put the work in. The fact is, like, the government itself, banks itself, they don't like ambitious men. Absolutely, I think they hate ambitious men because they're not putting the money in the banks. Most of my money is not in banks, it's in investments. I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm just learning about money and trying to learn how money works and how money operates. So I have bought US stocks, and I've bought into the ETF S&P 500 index fund, and I have money there, and I've made 1,000 crowns from it already. It's some dollars, you know, it's some money though. It's not nothing. So banks and governments, they don't like these men that are ambitious, that are investing, risky investing, that are having businesses. They don't like them. Why? Because they're doing this for themselves. They're not doing it for the banks. They're not giving money to the banks, so they can't operate with the money. The men are operating with the money themselves, and that's when they hold the power, okay? If you want to hold the power of money, you have to hold the money yourself, and you have to operate with it, and you need to learn how money works, and you have to work with your money that you have. Otherwise, you will not get successful, because then if you put the money in the bank, into a savings account or something like that, where there is like a 2% interest rate and the inflation is like 16%, your money is gonna be dying with time. So don't do that, okay? Risk it. You want to be risking. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So risk it for the biscuit and just work harder, you know? If some investments don't work, that doesn't matter. Just work harder. The truth is, like, the government and the society as a whole, they want students and they want people to work normal 9-to-5 jobs, no entrepreneurs, no business owners, nothing like this, okay? They just want you to work a normal 9-to-5. I don't like that, okay? Like, you can refuse that. How do you refuse that? You put in work into your own business, into your own entrepreneurship. That's how you make success. Truth is, people are scared to risk, you know? People are not risk takers. That's what I've learned. They don't want to risk things. They don't want to lose money. I am willing to lose money to gain more money, and that's why I'll probably make more money. And that's why I'll probably be more successful, because I'm willing to risk. I know that most people are not willing to risk, and they're afraid and scared to risk. They're not willing to buy these investments. They're not willing to buy these stocks. They're not willing to buy into an index fund, let's say. They're not willing to buy Bitcoin. They're not willing to do those things. And then the Bitcoin goes like 1,000% up. You could literally explode your money if you invested some money into Bitcoin. Let's say you would be rich like a lot if you invested money into Bitcoin. If my parents invested money in Bitcoin, let's say 3-4 years ago, they would be crazy rich. So don't be afraid to risk, okay? You're not risking. If you're a young person and you know that you can afford risking, just take the risk. Because otherwise, the majority of people are not either willing to work, they don't want to risk into these investments, they would rather buy some stupid clothes and buy into those companies instead of buying Adidas stocks or Nike stocks, which can actually grow with time. They will rather buy Nike shoes. They will rather buy Nike clothing that's gonna sit, they're gonna be able to wear, but it's gonna sit in their closet. Maybe they're gonna grow up from it, and then they're gonna either have to sell it or they will trash it. That's not worth it, okay? That's why I'm buying stocks. That's why I'm buying companies, because I just want to support these companies and I believe in those companies, and I think they have a long term. If I hold the money in there for long term, I can make some money from it more than some savings accounts in bank, you know. Risk it and put in the work, because otherwise one day you might regret not working. Peace, guys.